Oi, welcome to the mini tutorial on how to use the Undertale Text Engine version 2 that I made. Wow, I was planning on making this a week ago, but I got sick, and also I was implementing new features, but then I just realized some of them are not possible to be implemented without rewriting the whole project, and I decided not to do it. So, when you open the project, you'll be greeted with this insane long line of text, which you actually don't really need. You can just drag all of it and throw it into the trash. Yeah, so to start off, if we click the flag, absolutely no dialogue. So let's start making our own text. So drag this block. So text engine works like this. You type, it prints. Now, leaving these blanks, it kind of automatically recalibrates, so you can still modify the number, it's going to do whatever you want, but leaving it blank would just leave the default settings, because that's how an Undertale is. The dialogue just spawns here, blah blah blah. Before we go all fancy dancing, let's break some quick ideas. Let's say we want to say, hello human, and we type that out. This is how it's going to look. Let's say we want the word human to be broken into the next paragraph. We can do that by typing slash, and there we have it. The word human is not below, but we want this word human to start where the hello is. To do that, we're gonna add another special character, and if we click the green flag, they are aligned perfectly, making it so much better than doing a bunch of spaces. Okay, now we're gonna introduce another feature, delay. So let's say, hello human, I'm Sans. Now we want a slight delay next to the comma, so we're gonna add the special character. We're gonna add two of them because it's gonna create a much neater delay. Every single one of these adds a 0.05 second delay, so you can also stack them as much as you want, and it's gonna have a delay, much longer delay. Obviously, you can still press X to skip it, so it doesn't matter. X still works fine. What about effects? In order to do effects, you gotta do a column. And inside of it, you're going to type something 1, and it's going to be a shaky text. Want it to be rainbow? No problem. Add an A. And there you have a shaky rainbow. Now, for the full list of all the color codes, simply just go under the introduction, and here are the all effect codes. Now, another cool feature that seemed to have gone under the radar was the text spawn effect. So the text effects are pretty much allows your text to have additional effect the way it spawns. For example, the first one, it makes the text shaky a little bit. The second one makes the text fade in. The third one basically is a terminal, a bunch of random numbers before the actual text comes into play. The fourth one is wipe in, basically something kind of like, oh no, I just made it yesterday, so I'm still thinking about it. And the fifth one is assembly. So these are the 5 new effects. Well, they're not new. The only new is 4 and 5. But this feature was heavily not promoted, so I don't think many knew about it. And you don't need to redefine it. So basically, you can just keep doing this. Another cool feature here it is. So these effects are going to keep on playing until you pretty much turn it off. So you can add another of these blocks, and you have successfully turned it off. Now you can actually change it to another effect if you really want to, so it doesn't necessarily need to be the same one. Now the biggest advertised feature is the compiler, which allows you to basically create text from any sprite. Compiler basically requires only these 2 set of blocks in order to work. So let's say you have an attack, a box attack. And let's say you want your box to create the text first. But in order for your box to make the text, it needs to use these 2 special blocks, the compiler and clone. Now we want to create clone of the text engine, and we're gonna set compiler to 1. Why 1? Because we currently define number 1 to be our define. So if you have compiler, if your compiler ID is 23, then you're gonna call it 23. But if we click the flag, nothing is happening. But if we click this, there we go, our text is now created. But let's say we want the cube to spin. Let's say we wanted to spin 15 degrees. Now, it does spin at the same time with the text engine, but we wanted to finish the spin once the text engine is finished. So to do that, we're gonna need to add another 2 blocks. We're gonna add a wait block, gonna add wait until block, and we're gonna wait until our text finish is true. But once the text is finished, only then will it turn. Although you can actually do this another way around. You don't really need to use this method. You can use broadcast the other way. So we can have a broadcast turn. And if we go to the compiler text engine, we can make the broadcast turn event happen once the finish. And we can also add a delay, for example. And there it turns. Broadcast. You can still use broadcast for the text engine, but the compiler is designed to make it much easier and much more controlled. And you can also create another compiler inside the compiler. Now, to finish off the video, I'm going to demonstrate how options work. For example, what do you think? I'm gonna add options. I'm gonna add yes or no. Now, if we click the flag, we're gonna have options yes or no. If we want to move this slower, we can actually add a slash here. So now we have options slightly below. And if you want to see what option it is, you can just check this variable and you can see it. So let's say we selected number 1. Select number 1, the text engine is gonna ask us yes what. And we're gonna have another yes and no. But this time we're gonna have more than one yes and no. We're gonna have 5. Actually, 5 is a bit too much. We're gonna have 6. If we press yes, we're gonna have more options. They're all stackable. So yeah, I hope this basic breakdown on how to use the text engine is helpful. There's a manual pretty much going through great details on how everything is, what it does, and how you can make stuff work. I hope it basically helps you to understand the most fundamental basics of the text engine. Number version 2. And also sorry for not making much stuff. I will try to make new stuff later, but I think no one cares. Thank you.